Welcome to Outcast Studios, currently occupied by Void's Light Fellowship. In the heart of New Haven, a city where power and corruption intertwine, Lucien Delacroix stands as a paragon of success and philanthropy. Yet beneath his polished exterior lies a malevolent truth. Lucien leads a secret cult of Satanists, using their influence to manipulate and torment the innocent. Among his followers are powerful elites who hide their depravity behind a facade of respectability. Among Lucien's admirers are 6 unsuspecting individuals, each chosen for their perceived purity and innocence. They are to be the sacrificial victims in a grand ritual intended to summon the demon Moloch, an ancient entity of immense power and cruelty. On a moonless night, Lucien and his cult gather in a hidden chamber beneath an opulent mansion. The room, adorned with dark symbols and dimly lit by flickering candles, thrums with a sinister energy. Lucien, dressed in ceremonial robes, begins the incantations, his voice echoing with malevolent intent. As the chanting reaches a fever pitch, the temperature drops sharply, and the candles flicker, casting eerie shadows on the walls. Suddenly, the air grows thick and oppressive, and the candles extinguish, plunging the room into darkness. The cultists pause, expecting Moloch to appear, but instead, an ancient and unknowable force manifests, the Void. This eldritch entity, far more powerful and malevolent than Moloch, exudes an aura of pure dread and chaos. Its presence overwhelms the cultists, driving them to madness. The Void's influence spreads like a dark plague, twisting the minds of Lucien's followers. They begin to turn on each other in a frenzy of violence and self-destruction. Clawing at their own flesh and attacking one another, the room quickly becomes a scene of blood-soaked chaos. Bones snap and flesh tears as the cultists' screams fill the chamber, their eyes wide with terror. Amidst the horror, the 6 chosen victims, initially bound and paralyzed with fear, find their restraints mysteriously loosened. Guided by an unseen force, they manage to escape the gruesome scene, hearts pounding with fear and disbelief. As they flee, the echoes of the cultists' final, agonized screams haunt them. 2 elite cult members, the last to remain standing, were Lucien himself and a female musician. She had taken the liberty to taunt the demons with mockery costume, complete with horns. The 2 elites who remained were witness to the carnage with wide-eyed terror but survived the night, deeply scarred. The Void, having consumed the souls of the fallen, turns its attention to the 6 survivors. It whispers to them, planting seeds of vengeance and urging them to seek retribution for the horrors they endured. Before the woman could run, the largest of the survivors drove a stone into her head, knocking her out. Lucien escaped, leaving the woman who was set upon by the victims. The female was bound on her stomach as her back was flayed open. Before salt was poured on the wound, "For the innocence you took from me," said the first, "for mocking demons kin to the Nephilim." The second said as he drove a knife in the ribs, "For harming our future," said the third, removing a leg from below the knee down. "For offering innocent sacrifice, you witch," the fourth removed her hand. The fifth and sixth said nothing as they lifting her up, before using the hammers to strike her throat. Driven by a burning desire for justice and the dark whispers of the Void, the survivors band together. They tossed the woman and the rest of the bodies to the pigs. Then they embarked on a mission to hunt down the remaining elite cult members, their quest marked by brutal confrontations. Most importantly, they looked for Lucien. Those who were harmed in some way by the elites joined the cause. Each encounter is a savage display of retribution, as they mete out justice to those who once held power over them. The elite cultists, stripped of their influence, beg for mercy, but none is given. As the survivors' vengeance unfolds, they expose the true nature of Lucien and his cult to the public. The once revered philanthropist is revealed as a monster, his empire crumbling under the weight of his sins. The final confrontation takes place in the same chamber where the nightmare began. Lucien, now a broken and desperate man, faces the survivors, who have become instruments of the Void's dark will. In a climactic and visceral showdown, the survivors confront Lucien, their rage and determination driving them to deliver final justice. The room echoes with the sounds of violence and pain as Lucien meets a brutal end, his life snuffed out in a fitting act of retribution. As one last vindication, they performed vivisection on the leader while he was alive. When he begged for death, they granted him what he begged for. With Lucien's death, the void recedes into the shadows, momentarily sated by the bloodshed. The survivors, forever changed by the darkness they encountered, are left to rebuild their lives. Haunted by their experiences, they are united by their shared ordeal and a newfound determination to ensure that such evil never rises again.